To this episode of White Paper Podcast. If you're excited to just be a part of this, can you just let me know how it's going so far? It's inspiring how something seemingly ordinary has now become a viral sensation. And almost everywhere I go, somebody is saying, oh, wow, thank you for all that you do. And thank you for the difference you make. And thank you for all the jokes. Someone's actually said to me that she spent almost all night reading all the white paper quotes. I'm like, wow, this is simply amazing. Please keep on sharing with your friends. Tell people about this. I really believe that wisdom is the principal thing, and all of us can use more of it in our lives. Hey! I am so excited because we have a wise guy with us. But it's not just wise, it's funny, it's warm, it's witty, it's humorous, it's dynamic, it's multi-talented, it's what they call multi-potentialite. But he's not a light guy, even though he's light-skinned, he's a heavyweight in the entertainment industry. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up today to the dynamic Emma. Oh my God!
Yeah. It's your brother. Somebody say, oh my God.
Oh my God.
You know, being a wise guy can also mean something else, yeah? It can mean maybe somebody that asks too much questions.
Oh.
So he asks, why?
Why?
So
oh
wise.
my, oh, it's too early. but that's a good one. You know? Wise. Plenty wise.
Exactly.
Okay, I see. So if someone has many X's, the person can be extra small. As in XS. XS.
Wisdom. Very deep.
All right, guys, stay tuned for more of this. Now, I'm going to say this about you. I think the first time I saw you, social media, definitely.
Yeah.
And I'm like, who's this wild guy? Because you had all those songs and you had a way of putting the music, the comedy, the drama together. And you would take some of these very popular songs and spin it. Yeah. And then you had this whole thing of dualizing yourself or replicating yourself visually.
Yeah. That's something you said. That was the strategy then. Because obviously it was anything that was trending that people were on, you know.
Come on.
So as soon as the song comes out in the evening, you already get a version. You're like, when did this guy do this and everything?
Yes.
But again, I was single then. Now we're married. I don't marry.
Lots of responsibilities.
Life issues.
Okay.
But thank God he did the job. You know?
That's amazing. We're going to talk about that because I want us to get into some of the practical aspects. But if you don't mind, tell us a bit about who you are, your journey so far. How did you become this guy that entertains people in a meaningful way? Yeah.
So Emmanuel Oluwatoyinbo, that's my name from Ogun State, you know. Let's just leave it at Ogun before some people come and say I'm related or something. We're in the same compound, you know. So basically, how I started this is, you know, thank God for my mom. I grew up with a single mom, and wow. She just noticed some things in me, like, you know, like my talents and everything, and she really encouraged it, you know. So from far back as I could remember, maybe when I was 6, 7, I had a friend that made, now they call it a recorder, we used to call it flutes, but it's recorder. So he made it out of pipe and wood, you know. And what I just found was anything that makes music that I laid my hands on, I used to find my way around them, you know. Wow. And I just majorly thank God for my mom because she encouraged me. She bought mouth organ, all those things for me, you know. But she just made sure, she was just like, Sham, I'll be first, you know. So it's cool, I should, and I used to do well, you know. And again, at a point, she gave our garage to a church. You know, so I would go there, go and, you know, but I just thank God I used to find my way around it. So my first love was music, Wow. Then, like I said, I grew up with a single mom, and there were a lot of downtimes. She used to cry a lot. She used to think. And I wasn't the guy with comforting words, you know, as in, at least now I can say I'm romantic and all that, but I didn't have all that in me. So the way I used to try to get up around it was to make her laugh. Okay. No, so music, to make her laugh, you know, to just, and she would laugh about it. So those were two things that were developing I didn't just know about, you know. Then fast forward to when I got to, the major announcement was when I got to university. I went to Covenant University, you know, and when I got to school, it was too serious. Too much serious environment. I've never been around that seriousness in my life. And I was finding a way to get out.
As you wanted to get out of school. Not like you wanted to graduate, just like, let them just
chase me from this place. So, and my strategy was, they said there was going to be, so after 2-3 weeks of seriousness that is serious.
Seriousness with master's degree.
So they were having this thing called Variety Night. They said people should come out and, so people were coming out to do spoken words, sing serious things. And I said I wanted to do comedy because I felt like it wasn't the environment and they would just send me out. Wow. But it ended up, turning my life around. That night I was cracking jokes, people were laughing. And it got to a point, I was cracking this joke. I had not gotten to my highlight. Yeah. And they were screaming and I'm like, just for me to look up and I saw Bishop David Oyedepo walking in.
Wow.
I was scared. But then he sat down and he was laughing at all my jokes, Wow. And from there, they used to call me for every major event. I performed in front of presidents. Ben Carson came, that place.
Yeah.
So that did it for me for comedy and everything, Long story, when you don't tire of the story, I can stop. Because it's long. Then I got out of school. Comedy was what was bringing me money. But I really loved music, so I used to do music for passion. And comedy for the money.
Okay. So you had money to fuel your passion. So that you won't be a victim of compassion or an object of compassion. Because passion is never out of fashion.
No wonder we used to say when we didn't know the lyrics, arise, compassion. Not knowing that Nigeria needs compassion. So use that compassion as a compatriot to vote for the person that has passion. So that when I'm passion.
Absolutely. Good stuff. Your story is inspiring. It is inspiring. I love people to share a bit of their story because, we're in the social media age. So when people see you on social media with all the lights and all the glitz and all the glamour,
from nowhere.
It's so easy for people to feel like, this guy just blew now. Now Jamaica can blow now. But you have roots.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing that with us. If you had to describe yourself in 3 words, what words would you use?
Graced, the original word would be privileged, but as we are in Christ, graced, is grace, I'm taking my time. Blessed, I'm very blessed. Everything about me, very, very blessed. And, third word. There are plenty of words coming up, so I'm just looking for the perfect word. So maybe as we proceed, I'll come up with a third word. But graced and blessed, those two major, graced and blessed,
Awesome.
And loved.
Loved. Grace, blessed, and loved. That's amazing. You said something about your mom, and I got into a bit of an emotional state, because working with a lot of people, I understand how demanding life can be. So you've been raised by her. I just want to celebrate her especially, So what do you call that? Mama Emma?
Mommy, anyone, Mama Emma. But
we're shouting.
No, she's in heaven.
Oh my Lord.
But hopefully she can still hear. She can still.
Thank you for raising us. Thank you so much, Mommy, for raising a son. It's amazing. I was going to say as well that I think that people who go through a lot of pressure earlier on, there is something about how they evolve if they're able to find the right direction and the right guidance, right? So when I see what you do, there's a depth to what you do.
Mm-hmm.
You're not just expressing, you're also communicating something. So even your style of music, it has humanity in it. Right, you're not just trying to make people laugh for money.
And if I can cut in, so the thing about that is sometimes when you are even expressing those things, you don't even know you are expressing things because they are just in it in you. It's over time when you look back and you try to look at your own story that it starts to make sense to you. So those are you really hit whatever Kiloman hit with that thing you said because going through a lot that you did not even know you were going through a lot. Because for instance, the fact that she was a single mom, so that dad's absence thing. So a lot of times we go through pressure and we are conditioned and we don't even know that something is wrong. So till you now start growing. For example, the first form of fatherly love I got, obviously from God, but it's later in life I even realized God. But the first form of fatherly love I got is from my daughter. And that's weird.
Wow, I see now, like an inverse kind of thing.
God bless. Do you understand? When I see the way she loves me because of how I love her.
Wow.
Do you understand? Yeah. And it now makes me realize that, oh, this thing actually they way supposed to back then and everything,
wow.
you know. So those things,
so many emotional things right now.
You know, but those things shape who we become and everything, and overall. So that's where the blessed came from. The fact that everything that's happened to me that is supposed to like turn to something else, God has used it to bless me.
Yeah.
Then the loved also from the fact that, like, my mom, like you said, just imagine that a mother that is not musically inclined or anything encouraged everything she encouraged in me now are the things putting food on my table.
Wow.
Do you understand? And you know, with love. So those days it wasn't like stress or whatever. She used to beat me over for other things, you know, but passing my exams were just from me that I need to pay this woman back for these things she's doing to me. Do you understand?
Wow.
You know, so like sorry, you got that, you know. So overall, looking back now and just trying to add one and two and put everything together, it just makes sense that I'm where I'm at now because of the experiences.
That's amazing. So you were coughing earlier. Is it because you like to speak off the cuff?
Yes, okay, nice one. Oh, I will get back.
But and then you said that your mom beats you a lot. Is that why you have so many beats?
Calm down a bit now. Calm down
a bit. Okay, because you don't like Afrobeats, you prefer R&B. So calm down a bit.
No, but you know why I have a lot of beats that are actually hits?
Come on.
Because I serve the Arabiti.
Hey, Arabata.
And that's why I have shoes, because he bought butter.
Oh my God. No, that's good. That's good. That's good. All right, now let's quickly talk about this. You got me emotional again when you spoke about your daughter. And my wife watches that she's a very family relationship. I'm a family person.
Talking about your wife, shout out to her. It was later in life I realized that, we went to the same school, you know.
Her brother.
Yeah. Because but I think I met her before or something, before I finally met her, you know. Yeah. Shout out to you. God bless you.
Shout out.
I'm sure if we saw, because I'm speaking with my own experience, and I feel it's a lot of our experiences, because your wife is a very beautiful person. And I'm sure when we see your throwbacks, we'll be like, which jazz you take catch this woman?
Do you know? So, which jazz, right?
Which juju?
You know, one of my nieces, she saw my picture from way back, right? So like 2 years ago, and said, "Pastor Dami, you look different." So both of us now say, "What do you mean?" As my wife and I, "What do you mean different?" I said, "You look better." So yes, I'm loved, blessed, and favored. It's just the grace of God, right? Yeah. So talk about your daughter and the way you dote on her, the way you father her. One would never guess that you didn't have that growing up.
Yeah.
It's so authentic, it's so pure, it's so natural, it's so organic, it's so refreshing to see that. So what would you say is responsible for that?
So first of all, I always tell my wife, you know, and
the way you love your wife as well, just not your daughter. I didn't say that as well. So it's very clear that you're very good friends. Okay, so this is actually a very deep story. I think it's just my wife have told this story. So let me just. Wow. So there was one time. So my dad, I knew my dad. Yeah, okay. He used to come around, but he used to come around like maybe January. He'll bring calendar and pots. Then we'll not see him again. You know, like so those kind of things. So there was one day. There was something between him and my mom. I don't know if it was an argument. There was just something I observed. It wasn't abusive or anything, you know, but there was something I observed in my mom, and it just made me so sad. And I was just crying. And I was just like, man,
at that time, maybe 9-10 years or something, I was just like, man, God, like, so I think it's mixing up. So there was also one time I was alone somewhere and I took a knife. Do you understand? And I can't really, I don't even know what led to it. Nobody has heard, even my family that are watching this now, they'll be shocked. I took a knife and I was trying to, but at the same time, then, but when I was younger, that was the only time it happened, I won't say I was suicidal because it was just a one-time thing. But at that time, it was like I just, like I wanted to go. But why I would say I don't think I was suicidal was because as I now held it, I'm not trying to crack a joke, but this thing will pain me. I'm sorry. I knew it was going to be funny, but it was a real life thing, But I was crying, and I remember, I still remember, like I was just like, God, like I promise help. I was promising, but I know that God would help me with it and everything. That my wife will not go through what my mom went through, and like I would just have a different family. Do you understand? So that thing rings in my head every time first. So it's, we have a subconscious we cannot control. Do you understand? So those things that you already said are already there, Then again, so my wife, why I love my wife so much is, I've been in a couple of relationships and, when you've kind of had it wrong, and you now finally have it right, you realize that, do I even deserve this rightness when I've lost hope? Do you understand? So that one, and, so my daughter, there's just, I think it's God, it's centered on God, because there's just that natural relationship, first of all, the fact that I was there when she was born, and the struggles we went through, like the way I broke down when I heard her voice the first time, like a lot, and I've been present, so thank God, because of my job, my kind of job.
Yeah, it gives you the flexibility.
We are always home together, so I see a lot of things firsthand, and it just gets me. So that natural love is just there. Then she now loves me too, and she just likes to be around me. So it's corresponding, and again, just knowing, so it now, like I said, so it makes me realize the things I missed. So, and I'm like, okay, if God can still help me and I became like this, so imagine if I now am intentional to give her a lot of things that I missed, and she's already a sharp girl already by herself, naturally in life,
So your iron is sharpening.
I want to do what I couldn't do. My name is not Ayo.
Meanwhile, you said earlier that you were like in a lot of relationships, right?
Do you want to? Don't go to that place.
No, won't go there. But
But let me quickly say
that means that you were running things. Or running
I don't actually hide that.
Because relationship, like relay.
Baton,
understand.
Passing.
They're passing.
And as they were passing,
and
the bad things too were passing until they were diminishing. So from the first, the concentration is higher from the first person. It keeps reducing and everything. But one thing I want to mention is, and I want to say this to a lot of people, there's always this toxicity about exes. Like when my ex, if I see him, do you understand? Not necessarily so. What I've realized is most times it's just the fact that both of you are not just good together. Because majority of all these my exes that I said we had it bad and all that, they are happily married and they are doing well.
You're happily
do you understand?
As well,
and if we were married now, we'll still be doing bad. Do you understand? So it's not necessarily a one person thing. It's just the fact that both of you just coin. Do you understand? So, and that is another reason why I just really thank God for my wife, because to finally find person where you join, because I don't look myself like say, because my friend join.
I say, your wife now like follow come.
Not
be cut and
paste. Do you understand? Job like say they make come for me.
Thank God for good women. Thank you so much for sharing with us, guys. I hope you're enjoying this, loving this. Talk to us, engage the chats, the comments. Let us know what stands out for you or what is resonating with you the most where you are right now. There's so much more in Emma. Oh my God. We're going to be back. We're going to be back right after this. Talk to you soon. Welcome back. It's still the White Paper Podcast, where we share practical wisdom in a warm and witty way. So this is not like your lecture room or your lecture hall with your lecturer telling you what to do. No, we're just your guys, right? Your G's. OMGs?
Oh shit, OMG.
I see. And we have God and He's given us grace and gifts. 3G.
Oh my God. I owe my God Thanksgiving.
Oh man, as in you got it. You have it. All right. So just want to mention the fact that this is proudly supported by Global Greatness, a community of leaders, influencers, and business persons who are doing great work across the world. Also by Genius X, a community of brilliant minds who are serving the world with their gifts and their talents and creativity in a profitable and sustainable way. And of course, we have Dream Stream, committed to causing your dreams to stream, and Dream Space, where your dreams come to life. So if you'd like to support, sponsor, and partner, please follow the information on the screen or around this podcast and let us do great work to get
they should stop stressing Nios, because Nios was sleeping and they woke him up. One genius.
Oh my word!
You should probably call Just Too Funny too.
Yeah, Just Too Funny needs to be here. Oh, that is amazing. That's so good. Stop stressing yours. I'm like, where are you taking it to? Where are you taking it to? Right. So be a part of Genius X, even if your ex was not a genius. All right, let's get back to it. So you're talking about your upbringing, your growth, the changes you've experienced. And I want to thank you again because most people are not vulnerable with their stories. We live in a part of the world where there's a proverb in Yoruba that says, Tishweni
Bata
Afowobu, which means that if your issue tears, we forward.
Go and Google.
That's like when you're exploding, when things are happening for you, don't tell anybody, or just cover it and all of that. So I want to talk about some of your successes and some of your failures, right? Of course, I know that you have to be discretionary and all of that, but there are major milestones you can share with us, right? And some of the wise things that you did to actually do it. So you spoke about you doing like voiceover jobs, signature tunes for different organizations and all of that. Guys, show us the way. How far? Help your guys.
Okay, so this thing, because when a lot of people ask me, and for example, when you said the things about me, and I said blessed, graced, and loved, looking back now, I just know that it was God, because there was nothing I did intentionally. Things were just aligning for me. For example, this whole talk of voiceovers and blah blah blah. How did it start? So when I got to uni, like I said, aside comedy, I loved music too. So I found a software in school. They called it Adobe Audition. And the thing I liked about the software was I could record my voice in multiple layers, so I could do a cappella.
Wow.
So I used to just play around in my room, just record my voice. And in that process, I used to discover new things about the software. It was to me like playing video games, and I became like kind of like a genius at it. Although it cost me some things because I didn't used to go to class.
That's the honesty for me.
I didn't used to go to. And at that time, I thought I could handle it, and I could handle it. But there were rules I didn't know about. So you had to attain like 70% attendance. So it gave me carryovers, a lot of things, But later in life, like I always say,
from carryovers to voiceover.
But I loaded
because your voice carry weight. And you hold back.
My voice carry weight like the second. What's the Yoruba for the second?
Okay, in a second. A kg.
Weight is in kg. Come on. Oh yeah,
come and host the show now. Come and host the show.
Oh my God. So as I was saying, fast forward, I finished from school, went to NYSC. I studied elect. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but on NYSC camp, I used to play guitar. I won all the competitions, comedy, singing and all that stuff, and I won a lot of prizes. I even won a babe at that time, but
this is a new kind of prize.
That's a joke. So according to what I studied, I was posted to a chemical
lab.
They say it's chemical engineering company somewhere in Oshodi, and I got there. True life story. I got there. I saw they were producing Otapia. I'm not joking.
Oh my word!
And I was like, I begged that because it was in his compound. One man like that. I went to beg him, sir, please reject me. The man said he didn't reject me, so I shall rejected myself.
Wow.
But everybody loved me on camp. Apparently, all the people in the secretariat, so it was easy. They helped me do one letter. They were like, if I can, so this is the letter. If I can get anywhere I want to work and they accept me, they will give me the acceptance letter. Something led to the other. I ended up in Cool FM then,
Okay.
So I got to Cool FM, and it was a miracle for me to get to the production department. They were taking us around. They were trying to introduce us, and guess the software they were introducing us to?
Adobe Audition. And you had already done your audition on Audition.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Come on, you see
Oh
that?
my God. Oh my God. I didn't see that coming. So, but I still pretended like I was just in it for the first time. So it made me seem like a whiskey, because it made it seem like I learned it fast, know. So based on that, so I got into the production easily and everything. But so what I'll say worked for me, which I think is one of the major things you should take out of all these things I'm saying, because it's a long story I've been saying since, is the fact that I found what I could do easily. Because at that time, voiceovers, like I said, was, you need to, and another good thing about you is you are not faking, accent and everything, So that's one major thing. Like back then in radio, you need to be able to fake one accent or the other and speak English, You are listening to, 101.634 FM. Just a joke. I tried it. It was crap. So thank God, the same place I was working, there was a pidgin station and everything, and there was that gap. And I was like, okay, at the crack joke, I feel speak pidgin. So it's just for me to just create a voice that,
around it.
And at that time, when they listen to 95.1 was Zobia FM, so I could work around that. And that was when it just started breaking, the pidgin. And again, and now I started something new, as opposed to, they call it station identity elements. Okay. So those identity elements were like all these voiceovers.
Yes.
96.9, Cool FM, all those things. But I now made the Wazobia one, because another thing I could do well easily, music.
Yeah.
So I started singing Wazobia, Wazobia, Wazobia. And people will be calling the station, requesting for the song. Do you understand? So I ended up, after my service year, my boss was like, okay, guy, you're not going anywhere, because the station became number one,
Yeah.
So they put me in charge of Lagos, Kano, Abuja, and everything. So but
after service year.
Yeah.
That's inspiring, man.
Although the money was not, but at least it was, it was like the training ground. And I'm grateful because a lot of experience I have is from there. Yeah. So the point I'm getting to here is, first of all, because of the fact that I found what worked. I wasn't copying anyone. What works for me at my ease, that they can wake me up, I can do. So it made the job very, very easy for me. Do you understand?
So enjoying yourself,
exactly.
Right?
So I wasn't under any form of pressure. So I could now build on that.
Come on.
With other acquired knowledge, because obviously Adobe, I now had to, we now had to use the latest version. I had to go online. Then my co-producers too, then shout out to Tyron and Tola, whatever knowledge they had, they were teaching me to and everything, Now, personally, my own studio, I'm using Logic Pro, okay. I had to upgrade. So whatever I had as the foundation, I was building and upgrading on it and everything. But I think the main point I just want to pull out of this is the fact that I was myself, I was original.
Come on.
Do you understand? So every other thing is like, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and every other thing shall be added onto it, So no matter the stress, whatever else was giving me, the fact that that's still me now.
Yeah.
Any style where I do, people still, because now
That's amazing.
So I think originality.
It's so good that you spoke about originality, because I was going to ask you, when you say Emma, oh my God, you're not saying a copy. Right? Your style of music, your style of comedy, the way you love your family. You write as well, because you do a lot of scripting, you do songwriting. The way you create content is like you sweat content, right? And it has its own unique flavor, its own originality. Did something happen to you at some point that made you go like, I have to find it? Or was it, sometimes we become who we are because of pressure, or because we had a revelation. Somebody can maybe had a dream and God said something, or you had an encounter. Or do you think it was just that you evolved? Then how did you deal with the pressure to become like everybody else? So like your industry, I think that you're actually even pioneering a different industry that combines music, comedy, scripting, voiceovers. That it's a whole lot. So I know I'm asking many questions right now. So that originality, number one, how do you cultivate it? Number two, how did you protect it? Because I discovered in my own life. So I'm a pastor. I have an album. I write songs, right? I'm a trainer. I'm a consultant. I'm doing podcasts, all of that. And I realized that in many parts of Africa, maybe Nigeria really, people just want to always streamline you and say, do this one. But there are a few of us who are doing this many things well. But I know it's a battle, right? So what are the challenges that you face? In other words, have you gone to a place where you're like, okay, what exactly are you doing? And how do you navigate that? And then number 3 would be, what would be your advice to somebody that is like, I have this, I have that. Should I focus on one first and build it to a certain level? Or should I just try to push everything together? Just share your own experience.
So, how the first question is like, how did I, discover,
Your originality
and the content and everything? So there was
discover and develop, if I can say that.
So there was a day like this. You will not believe the story, but I just was walking somewhere. Then I saw something like a canopy.
In Kano?
To pee. I went to urinate in Kano.
Oh, I see. Canopy.
At that time, Tunde was going to also Kano, so Tunde had not.
Head not. Yeah, okay, but, I see.
So that Kano to pee, then I saw I saw like a canopy, Then I went under the canopy and I saw maize. Maize, M-A-I-Z-E.
That was amazing. Isn't it amazing to be under the canopy of love? So, under the canopy.
So, when you see maize under the canopy, what's another name for maize?
Corn.
What's another name for canopy?
Tent. So you're content.
So that's why I started making content. That's why I started making content.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
That was a joke.
And then in Kano, then you saw some trees, right? So you had content in the country.
Oh, shit.
No problem. I get it.
That was a joke. But so all these things, like, it's more or less like, just like you said, the way this thing started. It's just like I just stumbled into things. And
so you were telling a story about the canopy.
No, that canopy, it was just because of the content. It was just because of content. So I'm coming back to the original.
I see.
To the original story. So
I see.
So it's like, so I got to radio and everything was going well. And I'm like, okay, what next? So for example, I started doing the music thing for the station identity. And I was slotting comedy. Like, Oluwa Sonch mi apa go there. A lot of things, like, all these things I do as joke now, I used to do them as a radio station identity element, like the band, like I was like, the band plays this mouth organ, and I'm like, is real ancestor are those people that plays the accordion. I should have brought my accordion today actually.
Play that.
I told you anything I lay my hands on, So I used to do all those things. Then one of the ones I now wanted to do for the radio station was the one that now went viral, So I did the audio first. That you can lie. She's someone designer. That video thing I did. So I did the audio. I was going to post it on the station. Then some of my friends, those two guys, Ogbolo and this guy, they came, they listened. They were like, guys, why don't we even make a video for this? Then we dressed as babes, which I was cringing at that time, But then we did it. We released it and, then everybody just started following me.
So that's the beginning of videos.
For content online. Do you understand?
Maybe a couple of months.
Because before on Instagram, I just take pictures, I just leave and everything. But when I just made that, meanwhile, shout out to Davido. God bless you. God comfort you. That guy is blessed.
Amen.
I realized that if anything of his you touch, do you understand? Because it was his song at that time, Wow. So I did that and it went everywhere, and it got attention on me. I was like, okay, nice. So, I started from there and everything. And at that time, I will not lie. So what I did, leading me to answering your question that, okay, how do I control? So originality, I think I answered it already.
Okay.
The originality in me was the fact that I know music, I like music, I could play like almost all the instruments, and I can just, make my comedy into it. Okay, so what took me to music comedy? I'm so sorry, let me just quickly say this. Yeah. In school then, I used to do the stand-up comedy and everything, and there was one joke I cracked. I went to this. I went somewhere. I went to crack jokes somewhere, and I was just a student. I didn't know the culture outside. There were a lot of comedians, apparently, Then my girlfriend in school at the time went out to Abuja to a popular show, one popular comedy show. And somebody else cracked the joke. Apparently, the person was at the show that I had cracked it. Wow. And my girlfriend did not believe that it was my joke. She was saying I copied the other person. Do you know how painful that thing is? Do you understand? Like, so first off, I was just like, So that was when I was introduced into so they copy ideas and everything, So I was just like, okay, you know what? let me blend. Let me even start playing piano on stage and all that. So anybody that now copy me to that, because okay, for instance, we have Kenny Black, we have Joshua Funny, we have me. We do music comedy, but we do them uniquely. We can
all of you are different.
We can crack the same joke about the same song, but you know they are different. Do you understand? But anybody that is taking that wants to just, you know, say, this person. So that was what made me start, and it now made me discover a lot of other, you know, expressions of that, you know. So that's where the originality comes in. But to the pressure part, so that Davido thing had built a pressure deep in me that I did not know about, that I would later know about later in years. So at that time, people were on my page, so I'm like, okay, I have to produce the next thing, blah, blah, blah. And that grew me, because at that time, what I used to now work on is I would look for something that was trending. For example, when Dino did blah, 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 I did it, you know. So like that. People were like, this guy's a genius, blah, blah, blah. So till it now started getting to the point, like, around when I'm getting married and everything, I couldn't really keep up. Do you understand? And I now realized that, okay, I think I've actually been doing this to satisfy, to just make sure that people are not disappointed. And another thing I realized was, I now started getting tensioned when people that will come to me and I will post their stuff, like they will now start having followers more than me. Do you understand? So it was so I had to stop and get back. Do you understand? And be like, okay, wait, I need to start doing this thing for myself. And it's a long story, but that was how I started hymns. Which now developed into a whole other side of me that has now even brought forth my band and Faji Friday and even God. Do you understand? You know. Evolved. So, but long story short, one thing I decided to start controlling the pressure is the fact that I just made that decision that first of all, I'm not going to be looking at numbers. I've been stuck on 800 and something thousand followers for like 5 years. So
is that possible?
Like I will have like 5,000 followers. They will remove like 7,000. Initially, if it was back then, maybe I would not do hospital like this with high blood pressure. But I got to the point where I'm just like, see, I am my first fan. Do you understand? Like I do what I just really enjoy doing, and over time, that has now gathered people that like those things I'm doing. So now it makes it easy for me because it's what I love, and these people now love what I love. So there's no pressure. So, and that is the advice there, that the best way to trust me, no matter what you want to do in this life, so far is a good thing. You have your community. It's just for you to find your I'm sure when you started this white paper thing, you yourself go to say, but over time, do you understand? When people will be expressing what you are doing to you, you'll be like, it passed this white paper. Do you understand? So make sure you are not copying, and make sure it's what you'll be able to do when they wake you up. Do you know? This thing has bettered a lot of other things. I do customized birthday songs for people. Do you understand? People reach out to me from all over the world, and I can just do it like that. And trust me, I do not do the same thing for two people. Do you understand? Because these are things that are innate in me. Do you understand? So I got to that point where I'm like, okay, I'm not looking at followers. I'm not, you know, although now there's another challenge because so some of our content now are monetized. So sometimes you look at the analytics and like, you know, we are humans. You know, it's different phases. You know,
I love the honesty.
Different phases. But one thing I thank God that I've been able to control is that pressure. You know, so back then when I would do something, somebody would just come and comment rubbish. This guy, you're not even funny, will touch me. I will not see the millions of comments that are good. I will just see that. But now, if I just see you, is it that I help you block you? Do you understand? Or do you like delete your comment, block you, or just be like, okay, you don't like it? Do you understand? So those things do not touch me. It took a while to get here. It's not easy. But you know,
maturity and growth. Amazing. Like this has been so rich, so powerful, so authentic.
I sweat a lot.
Oh yeah, but you already explained that you are your biggest fan.
So I sweat for me.
Yeah. So, and then you find yourself to keep yourself.
Babe, I'm sorry. So if my wife sees that and my daughter, they'll be angry. They are my biggest fans. My wife.
But it's okay. Right. Now, this is the thing. You're your biggest fan. So you're a fan. Right. You worked in Cool FM and you're one of the coolest in Cool FM. So that's Ice. So that's Fan Ice. So your wife married you as Fan Ice because you are like ice cream. Unkweje rush.
How you copy?
So that makes you a sweet daddy. Come on.
Finance, come and sponsor.
You know.
Don't dull.
Oh, because we're going to be having like millions of hits and streams and all. Thank you so much, Emma, man. You've been fantastic.
Thank you.
You could actually host this show, you know. You got the vibe, the energy, the content. And all of that. Thank you so much. So, guys, I hope you're enjoying this and loving this. We're just going to play like 2 very quick games and then that's going to be it. So,
I hate exams.
See you right after this. We are enjoying this amazing time. Like, I don't want it to end. We're going to play some games, even though we're not playboys. But we got to play some games.
I'm shaking. It's like I'm writing an exam.
Before we play the games, Emma has this amazing show. Like, I've not been physically there, but I have to be there this year. I hope I'm in the country. If I'm in the country, I have to be there, right? And it's Faji Friday. So do you want to quickly tell us about that and why we should be there? By the way, if you listen to his music, it has this ethnic flavor to it. It has the comical flavor to it. It has the authentic flavor to it. It has compassion in it. There's a way you come across that people know that you really care about people, you know. So it's not just a show for you. So tell us a bit about that.
It's all those things you describe is just my mom, man. You know, like my mom is, aside God, my mom is the foundation of my music life, you know. So a lot of things that people love about me now. Number one, the hymns. Yeah. My mom used to sing hymns a lot, you know. Yeah. The Yoruba songs, CAC, my mom took me to CAC. We went to, you know. So, but basically, so my style of music I think is an amalgamation of different, like I said, so there's a subconscious you cannot control, yeah? So most times when you listen to things and you think you are not even listening, they are dropping somewhere, especially the things that you like. So let me give you ideas of some kind of music I like. So I love a cappella music a lot, and that will tell into the way I love harmonies. The way I'm really, distinct about my harmonies. I love percussion. And I'm a big Lagbaja fan. Do you understand? Like, by listening to Lagbaja from back in I used to tell people that there was a time Lagbaja used to dress like Lazarus. Back in 1994, when he used to like bandage, you know. Right, yeah. So, and he's big on percussion and everything, you know. So I listen to hymns, all these CAC. I grew up in CAC. I listened to some Sele hymns and all that stuff too. Babara. So
I say
now all these things have been there somewhere. So when I now decided that, and I play instruments, from childhood, I played in the choir too and all that. So when I now decide that I want to start making my music, it just makes sense that all these things come together in my head. Yeah. So this is the best explanation I can give as to how I make my kind of music. Then again, I like to just be, I pay attention to details a lot. That's why I have a lot of people in my band, because even to the last instrument, I want to have control over it. So, I'm a producer to another, so, and I'm very creative. So awesome. A lot of things just go into play,
So Faji Friday,
December 23rd. Don't miss it.
2022. Don't miss it.
Even if you're in Mississippi.
Sissy. Miss Sissy EP.
EPP.
Hooray! All right. Now, we're going to need all of this wit and humor and rhyme and rhythm to show in this hour assignment. So WhitePaperPost, you know WhitePaperWisdom, and you've seen it around and all of that. So basically, we share wisdom in a warm and witty way. That's essentially what it is. Things that people can use. So contemporary stuff, political stuff, environmental stuff, personal stuff, spiritual stuff, social stuff, all of that good stuff. So the first exercise, right? Please be careful so that the red marker doesn't stain your very nice ensemble. By the way, you need to introduce me to the person that made this, because it's looking very swagalicious. Yes, so the first one is, before you write, the first one is, I need to please fill in the blanks. And I hope that you haven't seen this one. So these are real white paper posts I've done that I want to fill in the blanks. But because you're very witty and creative, I'm sure you'll come very close. So this one says, it is possible to use eye pencil and still not be able to dash people to your vision.
Eye pencil.
And still not be able. to dash people to your vision?
So the first word that comes to me is attract, but because I'm trying to look for something that still blends to the eye pencil more.
Exactly.
So give me small time to use eye pencil and I'll be able to draw. Draw. That's okay, we'll get that in 2 seconds.
Beautiful. Now this one is very easy. Many of us desire smooth lives, but even go through a lot of pressure, crushing and grinding to become smooth and sweet. Many of us desire smooth lives, but even
smoothies.
Hey, I see.
Oh my good, okay.
Come on. Come on.
But nice. The fact that you come up with all these things, God. And you have like a full book of, you give me one of these books, I think.
Of course, already in your gift package.
This kind of, because see, I keep mentioning SL, okay, because you can't have a straight conversation with him.
With that?
And I'm sure this is how he is. He will just, Emma will make it like bad, he will like bad, he will like.
It will have to jazzy.
See, like you don't jazzy.
Oh, come on. Like play jazz. Amazing. All right. So now, all of our guests have been given this task. You have 60 seconds. You will write your own white paper wisdom post. But we're going to give you 2 keywords that must be there in the white paper post. Right? So number 1, you're going to put Faji. There must be Faji in it. Number 2, there must be oh my God in it. But it has to be something that we can use. So it can't be like an invitation to Faji Friday or anything, right? It has to be something that people can be like, "Aye, do we get it?" And of course, you write this for you. So your time, we're going to put a timer on the screen. Your time starts now.
That's a little Time up. Emmanuel.
All right, we'll give it more time. The time needs to go into red count now. Minus.
Rewriting.
Is that part of the strategy?
Okay.
All right, so you're going to read it to us. So
it will make sense. You have to be the best at what you do to play at Faji Friday.
Come on.
If you are a guitarist, you have to be the king of strings and the lord of chords.
Hey!
So people can say, oh my God.
Hey! Enter.
But the right thing,
enter. Correct. Zoom in, guys. Have you zoomed in that? All right. That makes sense. Lord of strings.
King of strings.
And
the Lord of chords.
Just
like the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords.
Wale. Is your middle name Wale? Wale.
Okay.
Amazing. All right. Thank you so much for being a part of this, Emmanuel. I can't tell you how enjoyable this has been. It's been so rich. It's been so nice. It's great to know more of your stories, more of your background, what makes you you. On behalf of a generation, thank you for all that you do. I believe that people like you are making a bigger difference than society is currently rewarding you for, right? Because you're not just doing like crazy stuff that these days, just internet, you can just do something crazy that goes viral. But if you're creating edifying content in creative ways for years and years. That's something worth celebrating. I honor your wife as well. Your wife, your daughter, and all the many children you're going to have. I don't know what your plans are, but
My brethren.
it's the brethren for me. All right. I really celebrate you as a family and all that you do. Thank you so very much. We have a gift for you, but we're going to be presenting that off screen, right, Mr.
This one is already attracting me already. This particular
part of it.
Brilliant, very brilliant.
Thank you so much. So thank you.
I will show. I have a picture that looks exactly like this. This one that you're wearing your hat, exactly.
Really?
Like that. So,
oh wow!
So somebody's supposed to pay the order. The person that took the other one first.
First, right? We're going to check the digital footprints to see. All right. So thank you very much. Yeah. All right, guys. So thank you so much for being a part of this our enjoyable time. This is White Paper Podcast, an offshoot of WhitePaperWisdom that's gone viral and reached millions of people across the world. We are so glad that you listened to this and that you stayed all the way to the end. Please do us a favor. This is good content, enjoyable content. Share it with your friends, your family, your loved ones, your clusters, your communities, your colleagues, and all the other sounds that you have in your space. Right? Share it on the internet, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, everywhere that you can share it, right? We just want to help people gain wisdom beyond the lectures, beyond the to-dos and not to-dos, the key points and all of that. Also, support the work that we do by getting the merch, right? So now we've done about 700 original wisdom bites that are presented in this warm and witty way. And by the time you're listening to this, it might actually be a whole lot more than that. So don't just hear wisdom, wear wisdom.
And share it, especially if your name is Sherry.
Even if you don't live in the Sherry.
I don't drink Sherry mango.
Oh my word, Sherry.
He must put the dots.
So guys, this is really good stuff. Stay tuned. Keep on downloading, streaming, sharing, and broadcasting. Let's fill the world with wisdom. Talk to you very soon. See you in the next episode of White Paper Podcast.